As I sit here in a flannel shirt, cutting up seed potatoes and letting the cutting part air dry a little bit to try to reduce moisture before I plant the potatoes, I think about how natural this feels. When I went to get the knife for this, I was thinking of the knife that we used specifically to cut the potatoes. I think it was a wooden handle, and it was, I think, one of those kind of old knives that wasn't really that good. So I treated myself to my favorite knife. But everything about this feels so wild. The year after having cancer, these start to come back, I guess. Maybe. Is it back? Start to live your life again. But if you're a self-reflective kind of person like I am, which you'll often get to come along on those journeys with me, I start to think about how I decided to come back. Because I'm not the same person. And this is not the same world. So I tried all of the experiments I could muster. I started seeds in plastic jugs. I doing potatoes in crates. Hooked up a rain barrel. I had to get a couple of things because some of my pieces were junky. I have to try again, but they're on their way. And I planted daffodils in the yard this winter, and they came up. And I'm just reminded of the cyclical nature of all of it. Even though I never expected to be planting potatoes again. Well, let me take that back. I expected to be planting potatoes again. I did not expect to be, specifically remembering the knife in which my dad would cut the seed potatoes when we were kids. I did not imagine that I would be living in this house with a cat and my spouse who's on a virtual call instead of a retreat. The right stuff stays. And if you weren't on the right stuff, you figure out what the right stuff is. I guess the most exciting part of this for me is that it kind of reminded me that you don't really lose any of these skills. You just put them away for later. You might have to get a stepladder out for the shelf, but the shelf is still there, and the stuff is still on it, and your body and your brain, even if you can't explain it to somebody else, it remembers. Our nervous system remembers. Whether it's trauma or something good. Thanks.